Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit your main man up with a super chat. Just trying to verify if the super chat button is even working. But thanks for joining. This is XRP institutional tsunami is coming. Clarity Act is getting passed. Canary Capital holds 194.9 million XRP, and a lot of hype, right? The hype train starting. We got $1,000 XRP. We got $3,000 XRP. We got $20,000 XRP. $100,000 XRP. Bro, the hype train is started. And there's a big move coming in the next 48 hours. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. People get paid. And Saturday, people are going to FOMO in. So make sure you pick it up now. Not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. But people will FOMO in over the weekend, right? These prices are going to start going up. People are going to get crazy. And I was looking at somebody and he was like, the Clarity Act has passed. Okay, guys, slow down. The Clarity Act has not passed. It just passed the Senate Banking Committee. And the sitting banking committee will send it to the Senate. But they're going to change some of the stuff on the bill, guys. So just slow your roll. I told you guys previously, and I'm still telling you, I don't think it's going to pass the Senate, right? They're just rushing it to get to the Senate. So people be like, oh, it's in the Senate. Oh, it's in the Senate. Oh, the Clarity Act is passed. And clearly, the Clarity Act has only passed the Senate Banking Committee, guys. Make sure you keep, oh man. Make sure you keep eye out for what's actually going on. Don't FOMO in. Don't fall to hype. Don't get crazy. Don't sell your kidneys to buy crypto. Don't remortgage your house. You're gonna have time, guys. It's not gonna blow up overnight. I know a lot of people are hyping you. People are going crazy. The price is going up. Everyone's talking about crypto's passed the Senate and the bill. They're working on the bill. It's not moving that fast, guys. Just beware, right? Don't buy into the FOMO and continue to support your main man BTM so we can keep you current on news and events. But thanks for joining. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and comment. Let's get the comment train rolling. This cold's killing me. A lot of people have colds and allergies. It's that time of year. But let's run through a couple of shorts real quick and let me know what you guys think in the comments.
Hey guys, David here, and a special breaking announcement. The Clarity Act has passed through the Senate Banking Committee. Now, I was in a coaching session when it happened, and I've just ended that. So I'm getting out here doing this little short to let you know, guys, we got there. For all the fudsters that said it wasn't going to happen, well, we did it. We told them so. I'll tell you what, guys, this is going to work out to be a big deal. Now, I know there's a few other hurdles that it has to go through, but I absolutely 100% believe that this thing is going down. And later on, we're going to have another full-on video to go over all the details. So, guys, until later on this afternoon, just celebrate what we've already achieved here and have a fabulous one, and take care.
What up, Peter? I think that's the miscommunication. What's going on with your fam? Did the Senate did they Senate passed yet? No, that's the thing. The thing that passed is the banking committee passed it to go on to the Senate. So the banking committee is telling the Senate it's okay to vote on. They don't want to continue to haggle over the bill, right? The banking committee says it's up for vote, and it can come up for vote anytime between, I think it's June, July, or August, but that don't mean it's passed. It just means that the Senate Banking Committee will vote on it soon, right? And let's continue to the next short, and we'll get into the details in a second.
Dollars worth of XRP actually make you rich? Well, what if XRP captured even a tiny percentage of SWIFT-related global settlement liquidity? We're talking about a global cross-border payments market worth over 195 trillion annually. So guys, in this video, I'm going to break down 3 different XRP scenarios: a conservative scenario, my base case scenario, and a very optimistic scenario. And by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea if $1,000 worth of XRP is actually enough. Now guys, the numbers behind global settlement and SWIFT are honestly way bigger than most people realize. And it's not just random people online talking about this. We're actually talking about Ripple itself, major financial institutions and payment providers. Now again, guys, I'm not saying that XRP is guaranteed to replace SWIFT or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But if XRP captures even a tiny fraction of global settlement liquidity, then the upside becomes absolutely enormous very quickly. So now let's run the actual numbers and let's see what is possible for XRP. Let's start with my conservative scenario first, but let me show you these numbers before I get into that. The current XRP price is $1.43 from the point of recording, market cap 88.6 billion, implied circulating supply 61.9 billion, and $1,000 worth of XRP today gives you roughly 699 XRP coins. And as I said, the estimated global cross-border payments market is as big as 195 trillion. So here's my conservative scenario. This scenario assumes that XRP captures a very small slice of SWIFT-related global settlement liquidity flows. Now, the SWIFT-related settlement share capture in this scenario is 0.25% for XRP, and the estimated settlement volume captured would be 487.5 billion. The current XRP market cap added is 88.6 billion, as I showed you. So the estimated XRP market cap in this scenario would be 576.1 billion, with an XRP price of $9.30. And the estimated value of $1,000 worth of XRP today would give you $6,502, which is a significant return from your $1,000 investment. And this is only my conservative scenario. Now let's move over to the base case scenario where things are getting much more crazy. So here's my base case scenario for XRP. And in this scenario, I assume that XRP would capture 0.5 to 1% of SWIFT-related settlement share volume. And in this scenario, the estimated settlement volume captured by XRP would be 975 billion up to 1.95 trillion. Current XRP market cap added is, of course, 88.6 billion. The estimated XRP market cap scenario would be 1.06 trillion all the way up to 2.04 trillion. Crazy numbers here, I know, guys, but bear with me. The estimated XRP price in this scenario would be $17.17 all the way up to $32.90. And the estimated value of $1,000 worth of XRP today would give you $12,000 all the way up to $23,000. Absolutely astronomical return for XRP. And if this base case scenario plays out, then XRP, of course, would eventually become one of the biggest assets in crypto. And let me now move over to my optimistic scenario for XRP. But before I do that, guys, if you want to see my trading positions in real time, join my Patreon, link down below. I'm sharing my positions every single day with the exact entries, with the exact take profit levels. So if you're interested in that, check it out, link down below. And let's now move over to my optimistic scenario here for XRP. So in this optimistic scenario, I assume that XRP would gain a 2 to 3% SWIFT-related settlement share capture and an estimated settlement volume of 3.9 to 5.85 trillion. The current XRP market cap added, which is obviously 88.6 billion, would give XRP an estimated market cap scenario of 4 trillion up to 5.94 trillion and an estimated XRP price of $64.38 all the way up to $95.85, and the estimated value of $1,000 worth of XRP today would be worth $45,000 all the way up to $67,000, which is of course absolutely massive. Now, whether you personally believe these scenarios are realistic or not, I think most people can agree on one thing, and that is the upside potential people see in XRP becomes much easier to understand once you actually look at the scale of global settlement liquidity. So let me know in the comments what you think. Are you more in favor of the conservative scenario, my base case scenario, or my optimistic scenario? I'm going through the comment section. I will interact with you guys. If you're looking for the best exchange out there to buy or to trade your crypto on, check out Phoenix, link down below. Deposit bonuses up to $30,000 completely for free. Just click register deposit.
Markup day is today.
So we'll come back to Paul Bryan, but Peter. Okay, we're moving forward. Then Elizabeth Warren, the reason why God didn't create woman to lead. Okay, I don't know about whoa there, killer. Although I don't care for Elizabeth Warren either, and we can't bash Elizabeth Warren because she's probably getting paid to block the crypto, right? The banking committee or the banks are probably paying her to keep things from moving forward. So she's probably just doing what she has to do, or maybe they're blackmailing. I don't know. But I definitely think she's the reason that XRP was investigated initially, right? These guys got together to slow down the crypto market because they know once clarity passes, banks are going to go out of business, guys. Straight up. I've been telling people all day, the bank is in business to make money. The bank doesn't care about helping you make money. The bank wants to make the bank money, right? B of A's biggest business is making B of A more money. And if a B of A doesn't hold your money, right? If you were to take all your money out of the bank and put it in a crypto, which is probably what's going to happen, there's no reason for B of A, right? B of A won't make any money. And B of A has been trying to slow this down so they can integrate crypto into their processing. So the crypto market does not take over the banking industry. But we will see. Blessings, GA. Blessings, fam. What up, Alfred? Yes, Peter. What up, Silver? Thanks for joining. And this is another quick video. Need to go turn this water off, so I will be right back.
So the crypto market structure. So the crypto market structure bill markup has passed. Senator Warren, she just got dumped on like how I knew she would. And then shout out to all the clowns that wanted to tell me, oh, it's not going to pass. It's not going to pass. Those clowns that say that the crypto market structure markup wasn't going to pass are the ones who sold all their tokens. And now when they try to try to accumulate some more.
So whoa there, killer. The bill did not pass. It just passed the banking committee, guys. Don't get too far ahead of yourself. It just passed the banking committee markup, right? There's no legislation, there's no laws. It's just the banking committee markup.
It's a little bit more expensive, so they get less tokens. So they're just mad because they sold early, because people don't see the vision. I see the vision. Saw it 10 years ago. That's why I told people 50,000 XRP is the minimum amount of tokens you should have, while all these other wannabe fake XRP crypto guys was telling everybody 1,000 is all you need, which they was lying to sell yourself short. And I was the only one telling people to have 50,000 or more. So yeah, you better thank me. The Vail meet and greet coming sometime around April, May 2027. Vail Network 35 at gmail.com for serious inquiries only. 1,000 XRP per ticket. You could bring 2 guests, and it's mainly for the 1% and the 0.1%, but anybody can come. Crypto market structure bill is done with. It's over. The Senate floor vote is going to come. And now that this good news is here, Bitcoin can explode from now all the way up to 2027. And whoever accumulated early, you know, because you got another clowns, a lot of these dummies that want to tell me, oh yeah, it doesn't matter who said the news first. Well, guess what? Everybody who's saying the news now is when XRP is way too expensive for the normal retail everyday working person to afford. I told people in 2016 when it was around 6 cents and people were able to get 50,000 tokens of XRP for like $3,000, $3,000 when it was affordable. So it does matter who says the news first, okay? Like the Oracle. So I'm very happy, you know, and shout out to people who accumulated early. You already know what time it is. Like I said, it was gonna pass that crypto market structure markup right before my birthday. Let's get this on the floor in June, vote it right through the House, and everybody get rich. I mean, not right through the House, through the Senate, and then everybody, you know, we have a good time.
So as we continue, this is the next video.
Washington may be preparing for one of the biggest crypto battles of 2026 because Senator Elizabeth Warren is now pushing back against parts of the Clarity Act, legislation that many believe could reshape the future of XRP, Ripple, and the entire crypto industry. The Clarity Act is a major U.S. crypto market structure bill designed to finally define how digital assets should be regulated in America. The legislation could shift large parts of crypto oversight toward the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, potentially giving the industry clearer rules for operating in the United States. But Senator Elizabeth Warren and several lawmakers are raising concerns about the bill. Critics argue that parts of the legislation could weaken financial oversight and create loopholes for major crypto firms. Reports also suggest lawmakers are debating restrictions involving stablecoin yields, banking access, and crypto-related financial privileges. For XRP holders, this legislation could become a major turning point. Supporters believe regulatory clarity could help projects like Ripple expand more aggressively inside the U.S. financial system. Some analysts also believe the bill could reduce long-term uncertainty that has weighed on XRP since Ripple's legal battles with regulators began years ago. The bigger issue now goes far beyond XRP. The outcome of the Clarity Act could influence how crypto exchanges, stablecoins, blockchain projects, and digital assets are treated across the entire United States. And with major institutions entering crypto markets through ETFs and tokenized finance, Washington's next move could shape the future of the industry for years. The Senate Banking Committee is now preparing for critical discussions around the bill, and the crypto industry is watching closely, because if the Clarity Act moves forward, it could become one of the most important moments in XRP's history. So, the real question is, will the Clarity Act finally unlock a new era for XRP and crypto in America? If you want real-time XRP news, crypto regulation updates, Bitcoin analysis, and the biggest market stories before everyone else, subscribe CoinGate TV now and stay ahead of the market. market.
I'm tripping. So shout out to CoinGape. And this is the current crypto.com market updates. Currently, Stronghold is up 2.6%. AIXBT is up 8.7. Algorand is up 0.9. HBAR is up 1.6. XLM is up 2.2. Link is up 1.3. Bitcoin SC is up 0.9. Flare is up 8.6. Nero is up 6%. Ton is up 1.8. Polymesh is up 4.5. ZK is up 2.3. Atom is Cosmos up 0.7. Radian's up 2%. Safe is up 0.7. CVX is up 1.9. SQD is up 14.4. Caspa is up 1.6. Cubic is up 2.5. Prime is up 3.4. Tiles up 3.1. Theta is up 1.7. ZBCN's up 4.5 on the day, down 1.2 for 4 hours, and zero change on the hour. For the week, it's up 7.9. For the month, it is up 36.9. For the year, it is up 124%. If you like it, I love it. Let's go. Satoshi's is up 2.1. XPR is up 3.2. XLM is up 1.7. Solana is up 1.4. XDC is up 8%. Canon Network is up 4.9. Hyperliquid is up 14%. Dash is up 5.9. Airjones Financial is up 3.1. Prime is up 3.4. Ethereum Classic up 2.6. Scala is up 2.7. Turbo is up 0.6. Moran is up 0.8. Quant is up 6.6. AIOZ is up 3.5. Ondo's up 1.4. XCN is up 1.4. XVS is up 3.3. Jupiter's up 1.6. POW is up 4.8. Hashflow's up 1.9. Quant is up 6.6. Flex is up 2.5. Litecoin's up 2.1. Telecoin's up 4.3. Dex is up 7.8. Nexo's up 1.8. Zcash is up 6.9. Metal is up 3.8. World Liberty Financial is up 2.7. Trump coin is up 1.5. So we're looking at the big boys, the market movers. Bitcoin is 81,360, up 2.5 on the day, unchanged on the 4 hour and down 0.1 on the hour. For the week, it's up 1.7. For the month, it's up 9.5. For the year, it's up 21.4. Ethereum is up 1.7 on the day, down 0.1 on the hour. Unchanged, well, down 0.4, 0.1 on the 4 hour, unchanged on the hour. Up 0.2 for the week, up, down 0.8 for the month, and down 11.8 on the day, the year. And XRP, our favorite cross-border remittance transfer, is up 4.9 on the day, down 1.9 on the 4 hour, and down 0.4 on the hour. For the week, it's up 7.8. For the month, it's up 10%. And for the year, it's down 41.4. So before we keep it moving, I need to go turn this water off. Let's play Paul Barron, and I'll be right back.
and we're covering it fully for you, looking at what's going on within this Senate hearing, and it is going to get crazy, so stick around. Let's, of course, thank our sponsor, and that is OKX. You can do all sorts of trades now in the U.S. through OKX, available to you, where you can deposit and trade $200, you unlock another 100, faster, better, stronger than your average crypto exchange. One of the best platforms out there, whether you're a pro trader or you're brand new and you want to start your first trade, do it on OKX. Use our link down below. It's going to get you started. It does help us out. And believe me, this is one of those platforms that I think people are going to start utilizing a lot more. So check out OKX.com. All right, let's go over to a couple of points I want to lead off with first. And this is, of course, none other than Elizabeth Warren. Take a look.
We could be preventing big banks from saddling customers with overdraft fees. But instead of that, why are we working on this? According to a survey by crypto news outlet CoinDesk, just 1% of respondents rank crypto as their top concern. Look, our job is to serve the American people.
All right. Well, I love how Warren always does that. And she's an expert at this, by the way, in only calling out some of the facts. Well, let's call out the rest of the facts, Senator Warren. Yes, 1% of U.S. registered voters named crypto as their top concern. However, 3% called it the single most important midterm issue. That is the 3% would sway an election. For all you Democrats, all you Republicans, 3% of your constituents will sway an election as the number one issue right there. 22% said it's an important issue, and 40% said they'd vote for a candidate that was aligned with digital assets. That's the numbers. This is crazy. And these are the kind of things, the little trickeries that Senator Warren is known for. Let's go to another clip, because this is even her going a little bit further. Take a look.
We have never had a single hearing on this bill. An amendment to help community banks. We won't even get a hearing today, much less a vote. Now, a year ago, some of you may remember, they promised we'll fix the yield issue.
It was, let me just say this very clearly, because I'm not going to go back and forth on this issue. Our bill first came out in June of last year. Since June of last year, we've added 33,000 words, 219 pages, in an effort to make this legislation as bipartisan as humanly possible. This process has been transparent, it has been hard, and it has been clear for the American people who are watching this process.
Listen, I know we've covered it a lot. I'm just looking at hearings on our channel. That's the list right there, guys. You just go through them, man, over and over and over. Hearing. All about crypto. This is all. Why can't they bring this stuff up? If this is so concerning to these senators that these regional banks are going to be dealing with this, why would they have not brought this before now? And the killer issue here is that this isn't an issue at all. It really boils down to other concerns that they've got. Some of the concerns right now is the criminality of it, according to Warren. Take a look.
Drug cartels are shifting their money laundering to crypto. The cops can't keep up.
Do I have your permission to ask Senator Warren a quick question?
15 seconds?
Yes, sir.
It'll take them that long to clear.
Senator Warren, I don't understand why this bill doesn't already accomplish the very worthy goal that you've articulated.
It's the tornado problem. Tornado, the mixer. What purpose does tornado serve except to hide where the money came from and where the money's going to? And who needs to hide where the money came from and where the money's going to? It's the terrorists, it's the money launderers, it's Iran, it's the sanctioned entities. You're mixing up the money so that you advance money laundering.
All right, so Warren, Senator Warren, really what it boils down to is privacy. That's kind of the core basis of what Tornado Cash was. And with blockchain, as you know, this is an open blockchain. Hence, privacy does not necessarily exist outside of what we've seen here recently with a handful of chains that have gone that direction. But that was the core basis of where Tornado Cash was going, was privacy. Everyone in America wants privacy around their financial transactions. That is the reason. What are you all of a sudden going to just arrest every American out there for using something to maintain privacy? That's the point we're getting at right here. And you're losing the script by a long ways. Now, let's go further into this because she's got amendment after amendment after amendment. Take a look.
We now call up Warren 66.
So Jeffrey Epstein was an early backer of crypto. Some sunlight might help prevent Wall Street and crypto companies from funding the next Jeffrey Epstein. I urge my colleagues to support Warren 66.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask a question?
The point of order?
Sure.
The Epstein files have nothing to do with this bill.
I look forward to you all continuing this conversation after the hearing.
All right, so you can kind of see that a little bit of craziness. And granted, yes, that doesn't necessarily belong in a crypto bill. All right, so let's go into a clip here that talks, and this is really Senator Warren trying to slow everything down, including this process and what this might look like going into the next stage, which is going to the Senate floor if this gets through. Take a look.
Voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'd like to have a recorded vote on this. I think this one's going to matter in history.
Clerk will call the roll.
All right, so there you have it, a recorded vote. I think everybody's going to love this because now everyone will know how Elizabeth Warren was on the wrong side of history, and it'll be recorded out there, just in more tactics that seem to be happening in D.C. Now, I want to go to one more clip here. This one is two Dems who try mainly explain why they're going to vote yes for now and what this might look like later. Take a look.
I have voted yes to advance the bill today. My vote today is a vote to keep working in good faith. It does not mean that I'll be voting for the passage of the Clarity Act on the floor because we still have so much work to do. We also need to incorporate an ethics agreement.
I want to be clear that my vote here does not guarantee a vote on the floor. We have come close, but have not finished an agreement on ethics guardrail.
All right, so that's Senator also Brooks and Senator Gallego. So you guys know if you live in those areas, I'd start calling their offices right now because they are definitely on the fence. Now, the reason that they're on the fence, we'll get into in a second. However, I want to go to this right here, and that is that we've seen a massive spike. And the reason is, guys, they've passed it through. So going here on the hourly on Polymarket, holding it around 62%. This was around noon at 2 o'clock Eastern time. This has gone through the Senate, and we are seeing this moving up to almost 70% again. So movement is moving quickly. Eleanor tweets out right here saying Ruben Gallego, who just voted with the GOP counterparts to advance Clarity out of the committee, and it's done. It is out of committee now. This is boiling down to what we all know, and that is going to be the issue around ethics. And this is what we're going to be facing over the next maybe 2 weeks, is the element of what ethics line do they have to actually come up to get this across, to get enough senators on the Democratic side to come in. All right, so let's break down the chart real quick just to see what's happened now that we have Clarity coming out of the Senate Banking Committee. This is on the hourly, as you can see, people anticipating what was moving early on. Bitcoin, of course, climbing up to 81.8, almost 82. I guess it did hit just 82 as it clipped and pulled back. You've got Ethereum holding at 23, also climbing up over the week or over the morning. And then Solana moving out as well, passing $90. XRP up over 5% and continuing to climb significantly over 150. So at least early stage, this is a positive for crypto. But the point that we have to make very clear on this, guys, is this goes to the Senate next. And the key here is they need 60 votes. We are not there, and we need some very key senators to make their way into it. Now, we're going to be revealing who those players are throughout the next few days and weeks, because this will become one of the biggest, I think, crypto champion campaigns out there, is to get these senators to move. Also, Brooks, Gallegos, and Masto, those are the big three right now, but there are others to keep an eye on. We'll keep you guys updated, so stay tuned. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe, drop a comment down below, and also join our free private member group. The link is in the description.
So shout out to Paul Barron. Let's get back to the numbers. So for the XRP radar, in escrow is 36 billion. Tracking supplies 63.9 billion. XRP burnt is 14.3 million. RLUSD is 1.5 billion. That number seems to be going up. On exchanges is 14.2 billion. ETFs in index is 872.6 billion. 6 million, sorry about. 301.1 million DeFi and ANA. AMM. Tokenized RWA is 1.7 billion. Treasury is 473 million. And if we look at the on-chain activity, Upbit added 1.3 million, still hold 34% of the total supply at 5.4 billion. Binance is unchanged. I'm not even sure what's going on with Binance. That Binance number never changes. Never. We report on this almost every day, and I'm telling you, Binance has been at the same number for months at 16.6% with 2.3 billion. BitThumb is added 4 million at 1.82 billion, 12.8% of the total supply. Uphold is 19,000, 1.6 billion, 11.5% of the total supply. BitBank, 307,575 million, 4% of the total supply. I told you Uphold's pushing up. Uphold is right under, actually, BitBank added 4 million, but Uphold's right there with them. 1.8 billion, 1.6, 12.5%. They're sliding up. CoinCheck is 37,555 million, 3.9% of the total supply. eToro is 111,481 million, 3.4% of the total supply. Crypto.com added 1.7 million, 329 million, 2.3% of the total supply. One Coin One, 193K, 315 million, 2.2% of the total supply. So let me know what you guys think about that. We'll go over to the XRP terminal. On the XRP terminal, 44.4 million on spot, 41.36 million on leverage violence. And this is a big push up on the day. You can see here, wow. Spot Bitwise XRP is up 6.93% to $16.93. Canary Capital 7.03% up to $16.14. Franklin Templeton $16.51, 7% up. Grayscale 7.04, $29.51, but 2.12 million in daily transactions. Bitwise had 26.63 million. Canary Capital 8.02. Rex Osprey 496K Daily transactions, $12.41, 6.72%. 21 shares, $14.78. 21 shares is 6.8% up with 57,000. Tercum 2X is up 13.56%, $4.61 with 23.4% in daily transaction volume. Volatility shares, $49.61, up 13.76% at 11.2 million. Pro shares is 11.38 million at $4.52, 3.19 million. 24-hour trading volume. Volatility shares is 6.93, $8.41, 2.7 million. Amplify 3X is 5.83% to $15.27, 760K in 24-hour trading volume. So keeping it moving. The XRP ledger is 428 million, up 23.29% on the month, 302 RWA. 3.5 billion in representing assets, 63.5% up on the month. 520.20 million, up 17.9%. RWA holders is down 3.45%. Stablecoin holders is 58,500, up 2.48%. 30-day transfer rates 116.79 million, up 14.76%. Stablecoin 30-day transfers is 2.34 billion, up 38.29%. And if we can see here in the RWA for total market cap for crypto is 2.7 trillion, up 2.19%. CNC 20 is $165.12, up 2.72. Fear and Greed is 50, right at neutral, right dead smack in the middle. Altcoin season is 43 out of 100. Average crypto RSI is 50.20. So let me know what you guys think about that. XRP price is $1.49, up 5.37% on the day. 92.6 billion, up 5.37%. 24-hour trading volume is 3.95 billion, up 23% on the day. So this is XRP's outperforming every major asset since the Clarity Act advanced in the Senate. Why? It's built for this moment. Laugh now, and one day XRP could be a power global finance. XRP hit a fresh sessions high. XRP hit a fresh sessions high, $1.52 on May 14th, extending a sharp intraday rally after breaking from recent consolidation. Finally, right? And I told you guys, once it pushes up, it's going to keep running. XRP price likely has been generally interested to watch. The market now keeps reacting not only to the charts and liquidity zones, but increasingly to narratives. Micro events, regulation updates, and crowd expectations. Feels like trading is involved. So let's go over to latest updates. Bitcoin is holding above 81K zone after a strong rebound from recent lows. 78K buyers stepped in with conviction, confirming the area as a key support level. If Bitcoin breaks 28.2K, momentum could accelerate an open path towards fresh highs. Rising volume adds credibility to the recovery. XRP is showing even stronger momentum, climbing over 4% and testing the $1.55 resistance zone. A breakout above this level could trigger another sharp move. As long as XRP holds above $1.43, the bullish structure remains intact and buyers remain in control. So going back over to X, shout out to the BTM mob. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Silver. Like, share, and subscribe. And if you can see here, institutional tsunami is coming. XRP is sitting in the middle of the next regulatory shift. The Bank of England's already considering parts of strict stablecoin framework. Wait a minute.
For cryptocurrencies, the Clarity Act.
After a major industry pushback, the Clarity Act just cleared the Senate Banking Committee and a 15-9 bipartisan vote. And buried inside the bill, Section 602, that creates a key legal distinction that would matter directly for Ripple, XRP, and the broader digital asset market. At the same time, XRP whales are reporting hitting all-time highs. XRPL monthly transaction reached 71 million in April. In the markets watching the $1.50 level as the next major line before potential push to $2. And there it is. The $2 is about to get crazy.
Actually wants this thing to go through, but the optics of it, they just can't. So just a few broke, made it a non-partisan win, and this is so big. You see it, crypto in the green today, XRP specifically up more than its peers, up 5.7% on the 24-hour. Surprisingly, really, Ethereum is the dog of the group. Ethereum only up 1.7%. Can that sucker get running or not? Really bullish on-chain signal right now. XRP whales hit all-time high. XRP whales are accumulating a record level, increasing the chances of all XRP price starting to go up. XRP whale addresses hitting an all-time high, 332,000 whale addresses, what they classify as whale. XRP, even more exciting, XRP monthly transactions also hit an all-time high, 71 million in April. So we're seeing a lot more activity on chain. And remember what Evernorth put out. When you look at the source of a lot of these transactions, it's actually utility, even more exciting. And in the Clarity Act, there's actually a big win for Ripple, for XRP, and I think just the cryptocurrency, space at large here. The title of this article, Massive Win for Ripple and XRP Hidden in Clarity Act. Section 604 creates a legal distinction between developers who control customer assets and those who merely create and maintain blockchain software and infrastructure. Again, if you create a blockchain, you're not a bank, you're not a money transmitter, you are just a technologist. You are building tools for the future, and you shouldn't be regulated as some sort of financial institution. And so that distinction is really important, not just for Ripple. Come on. It's huge for the whole crypto space, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all of it. We need to get this thing across the finish line. We are making progress. Interesting. Bank of England reconsiders strict stablecoin regime. This is crazy. I was reading through this. The BOE weighs easing UK stablecoin gap and reserve demands. Basically, all the crypto companies in the UK are saying, look, you're going to crush us with this. We can't get any adoption. And so the more lenient restrictions they're proposing to roll out is 40% of reserves have to be in non-interest bearing accounts. That's kind of ridiculous. That's just going to harm stablecoin companies. But even worse, individuals. Now, remember, these are the more lenient restrictions. individuals will be able to hold 20,000 pounds, roughly $27,000 of a given UK stablecoin, and businesses would be capped at 13.5. Like, why do we have to have these artificial caps to try to kill the industry? Is it safe? Is it not? And if it is, and it's regulated, you should be able to hold your money as much as you want in frickin' stable coins. But again, everyone's kind of thinking about this. How is it going to harm the banking industry? It's just going to keep marching along. There's not going to be restrictions anywhere soon enough. You best believe. How are you going to restrict it anyway? I can take my XRP, throw it on chain, trade from some RLUSD. What you going to do about it, UK? Not much they can. Now, there's a big warning right now. Huge increase in fake XRP airdrops and fraudulent projects. The warnings come as XRPL activity, institutional tokenization projects, and XRP market interests will give fraudsters more narratives to exploit. There's more going on, and they can spin that in different ways to try to steal your money. You got to be very careful. XRP Ledger has seen a drastic rise in fraud attempts. David Schwartz, former CTO of Ripple, published a public warning regarding the increased scams targeting XRPL ecosystem and participants. And also the XRP Ledger Foundation issued a similar warning saying that scams targeting XRP community have increased sharply. So a lot more, fraudsters out there trying to target us. Got to keep your head on a swivel here. The warning comes again as XRP Ledger activity has increased. A lot more value there. It's going to bring in the adopters, but also it's going to bring in the fraudsters. You got to watch out. Winklevoss twins. How the heck did these guys lose money? Literally, crypto exchanges allow you to print money. They should be rolling in cash. Winklevoss twins invest $100 million in battered Gemini exchange. Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss, the billionaire twins who founded Gemini Space Station Inc., made $100 million strategic investment into the money-losing crypto exchange, saying, "We believe the market has significantly undervalued Gemini, and this investment will allow us to set the company up for the next growth phase." Now, I don't know the specifics. I don't look at their financials. They are a publicly traded company. I'm not interested in their exchange beyond Ripple's investment. Ripple's made some great investments where it's not an investment. They're giving loans, right? So they have creditor protection if they don't get paid back. But a part of the deal here isn't just you got to pay us back plus interest, right? They have to use RLUSD. They got to implement it. They got to integrate RLUSD. We see Gemini, a relatively small crypto exchange, and the market is increasingly moving to scale. So you got to be bigger to compete. I get it. I'm not saying they should be competing with your bigger exchanges, but they shouldn't be losing money like they are, where they're constantly having to shake their little can for Ripple to throw some change in there, or Winklevoss twins having to put their own money back in. Like, they got big problems over there. Hopefully they get it under control. We see everything that's going on right now between the U.S. and China. Seems to be fairly productive. Yay for that. AI chips going into China. A lot of money going to be flowing back our way. All sorts of stuff. The problem, again, of course, is Taiwan. No mention of what's going to go on with that. I don't know if there's a great deal to be had there. But that's the big risk, of course, as we move into 2027. That's where most experts say a window opens. We see generally China is not one that projects power cross-border and goes after other countries. But then again, they see Taiwan as part of China. If something happens there, could be catastrophic for the global economy and just a lot of ways for humanity in general. Let's hope something's worked out there for the long term. But outside of that, productive talk seems like calmer heads are prevailing here, and we should get a lot of business back and forth from the two biggest economies in the world. Let me know what you think down below. Please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link. Big day, historic day for cryptocurrencies. The clarity.
So keeping it moving. This is XRP makes unique Brad Kentinghouse answer in a minute. 4 billion transaction, 3.5 settlement seconds.
Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse. I'm here for my second Crypto in a Minute here at XRP Las Vegas. So we're doing something special to make it XRP in a minute. I'm Brad Garlinghouse, and I'm back for XRP in a minute. What makes XRP unique? I'm going to go way back in time and talk about the earliest inventors of XRP Ledger who had been contributors to the core of Bitcoin. And they saw in that an opportunity to build something specialized and specific and unique to really solve a payments problem. And so what makes XRP so unique is its speed, settling transactions in 3 to 5 seconds, its cost, extremely low cost, fractions of a penny per transaction, and its scalability, now having completed over 4 billion transactions. You add in that with a special dash of an incredible community around XRP, what I like to call the XRP family. Sometimes we're going to be the XRP army, depending on what's going on. But you put those things together and you include the longevity of this blockchain, you have something special and unique that is poised for great success in the years ahead. Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse. I'm here for my second Crypto in a Minute here.
So keeping it moving. XRP momentum is lit on fire. Regulatory clarity has hit the market, and the energy around crypto is shifting fast. So we will see what happens over the next couple of days. XRP surpassed Binance native token BNB in market capitalization to become the 4th largest crypto in the world, behind USDT, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. So let's see here. Oh yeah, let me go back to the updates. So hello, XRP family. Hold on 1 second. Back to the channel. Tonight we have an institutional tsunami, a giant Canary XRP headline, ETF demand heating up, 1000 XRP hype crawling out of the basement, and a chart that looks like it's about to either break out or send everyone back to emotional support groups. Canary reportedly holds 194.9 million XRP, worth around 262 million. Canary, drop your boy a couple thousand XRP, man. That is not somebody buying XRP with leftover DoorDash money. That is not your cousin buying $38 into Uphold and yelling generational wealth. That's a serious ETF style exposure. Before you start throwing rocket emojis like confetti, we're going to do what this channel does best: separate facts, hypes, rumor, and technical analysis. Today, we're answering the following questions. Is Canary Capital XRP position really a major institutional sign? Are XRP ETFs becoming the new Wall Street gateway into XRP? Is $100 XRP realistic, ridiculously, or just a good thumbnail raising? Could XRP make a big move into the next 48 hours? Chat, before we go deep, drop your XRP target right now. $2, $5, $10, or $100. And be honest, are you bullish because of the chart, the institutions, or because you already survived too much pain to quit? Canary's $149.9 billion XRP. Why this headline matters. Let's start with the big headline. Canary reportedly holds 194 million XRP, worth $162. 261.9 million as of March 31st. That number is important because it supports the idea that XRP is no longer just a retail army coin. XRP is now inside of regulated financial products that traditional investors can access. Now, let me be very clear. This does not mean Canary Capital is yellow trading XRP like a degenerate with 6 tabs open and Red Bull addiction. This is an ETF trust structure. The fund is designated to give investors exposure to XRP. The SEC filing says the trust's objective is to provide exposure to the value of XRP held by trust minus expenses and liabilities. Translation: investors buy shares. The trust holds XRP, and the product gives Wall Street style access to XRP without investors needing to mess with seed phrases, hardware wallets, or accidentally sending crypto into the shadow realm. This is why I'm calling an institutional tsunami, not because XRP is guaranteed to go to $100 tomorrow, but because the pipes are being built for bigger money to access XRP. Retail investors buy XRP and refresh the chart every 11 seconds. Institutionals buy exposure, file paperwork thick enough to stop a door. Chat, type Wall Street if you think ETF products are the biggest XRP catalyst. Type utility if you think real world payments matter more. XRP ETFs are becoming a national institutional story. Now let's talk about why the ETFs matter. ETFs are one of the easiest ways of traditional investors to get exposure to crypto without directly holding crypto. Think about the average financial advisor. They do not want to tell a client, okay, grandma, write down 24 seed phrases and don't lose them, or your retirement gets Thanos snapped. ETF solves that problem. XRP ETFs matter because they package XRP into a familiar investment wrapper. Recent reports says spot XRP ETFs attached to their biggest inflows since January, with Franklin Templeton XRPZ adding 13.6 million, Bitwise XRP ETFs adding 7.6 million, and Grayscale GXRP adding 4.6 million. And that is the type of headline that wakes up traders, because ETF inflows can signal demand, not guaranteed price movement, but demand. Why this matters? ETF inflows get XRP 3 things. First, legitimacy. When XRP is inside a regulated product, it becomes easier for institutions to consider it. Second, traditional investors can buy exposure through brokerage accounts instead of crypto exchanges. Third, the narrative. In crypto, narrative is gasoline. And right now, XRP's narrative is shifting from lawsuit drama to ETF demand, institutional access, and regulatory clarity. Reuters reported in 2025 that the SEC updated standard to streamline crypto ETF approvals, cutting approval timelines by qualifying products and creating conditions for waves of crypto ETFs to assets beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum. XRP used to be the coin everyone argued about at Thanksgiving. Now it's showing up in ETFs, conversations like it put on a suit and started saying capital allocations. Chat, do you believe ETF inflows will matter more than retail buying? Type ETF or retail. Definitely going with ETF. What up, Phantom Beats? How's it going? Let me know what you guys think about that in the chat. So segment 3, $100 XRP hype, dream, math, or madness. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, $100 XRP. Every XRP bull run, the $100 target comes back like a movie villain that refuses to stay dead. And I get it. It's exciting. It sounds amazing. It makes thumbnails look like Marvel trailers. But we have to be honest with the audience. $100 XRP is not a 48-hour target. $100 XRP is not a canary filed something. So we're there by Monday target. $100 XRP would require a massive change in market structure, liquidity, adoption, global usage, and overall crypto market size. Use this $100 XRP is a dream. $1.50 is the homework. And that's the difference between hype and trading. You can respect the moonshot, but we still have to survive resistance. $100 XRP for XRP to reach $100, the market would need to believe XRP deserves a gigantic global evaluation, and that would likely require deep institutional participation, massive payment utility, major liquidity, strong regulation, and a much larger crypto market that we have right now. So tonight, we are not killing the dream. We're putting the dream in the correct folder, long-term expectations, not short-term technical analysis. Before XRP goes to $100, we need to stop acting nervous around $1.50 like it just saw its X at Walmart. Chat, be honest, $100 XRP, realistic long-term, or is it premium grade hopium? Type realistic or hopium. The 48-hour XRP technical analysis setup. Now let's get into the chart, because the chart is where hope goes to get fact checked. Right now, XRP is sitting in a very important zone. The market has been watching a $1.40 support area and a $1.48 to a $1.51 breakout zone. Analysts have pinned out that a close above a $1.48 and a $1.49 cluster on a meaningful volume could open the door towards the 200-day EMA near $1.51, then a horizon resistance around $1.90. That means XRP does not need a miracle first. It needs confirmation. XRP level $1.40 to $1.41 must hold support zone. $1.44 to $1.45 short-term battle zone. $1.48 to $1.51 breakout confirmation zone. $1.60 first major bullets test. $1.71 to $1.75 200-day SMA. $1.90 to $2 major psychological resistance. $2.80 to $3 bigger momentum breakout. $4 a bullish extension, and $100 long-term moonshot speculation, not a weekend target. So the bullish weekend scenario is the bullish That's weird. Here's the bullish weekend setup. XRP holds above $1.40, pushes back through $1.48, and clears $1. I'm tripping. I should be showing. And clears market cap. Why is this always market cap? There we go. So this is our zones. This is $1.50. What happened? Pull this out here. It's $1.50. This is $1.50, $1.45. Where is it? Here. And this is $1.40. Stretch this out a little bit. So we look at the continual towards $1.60 and the break $1.60, and the next magnet is $1.71, $1.75. After that, $1.90 and $2 becomes a real firework zone. What did you say? $1.71. Oh wow, that is up here. Let's see here. $1.71 to $1.75. So we'll just put it right in here somewhere. Dang it. That'd be $1.72. So we're going from here all the way up there would be a serious green candle. Volume is key. Without volume, wait a minute. Where's my? Oh man, where's my volume marker? That's weird. That's weird. Where are my markers at? Moving average. Well, I don't have anything on here. What is going on? Okay, what is going on here? Where's the indicators? I don't understand why it's not giving me my indicators. That's weird. Are the indicators no? That's weird. See if we can remove the indicators and maybe we can add them back. There we go. So this is what is this? The 4-hour chart. We're going to push it over to the 2-hour chart and see if we can bring that down. Okay, that makes sense. So you can see here on the 2-hour, we are adding massive amounts of volume. RSI is 61.81, so that is good on the 2-hour. And on the 45-minute, looks like it is slightly bearish, and we're losing volume on the 45. And we'll check the 15-minute. 15-minute, we're losing volume, and it's bearish. Looks like it's coming down. And back to the 2-hour, it's bullish, and we're adding volume. Volume is key. Without volume, a breakout of XRP doing cardio in the same price range. So the bearish weekend scenarios. XRP fails at the $1.48 to $1.50. We're at $1.49 now. Bitcoin cools off, volume disappears, and XRP falls back towards $1.40 to $1.41. If that support breaks on the daily close, analysts are watching possible downside towards $1.30. That would kill XRP long term. That would not kill XRP long term, but it would delay the party. So the neutral scenario, The third option is the most annoying. XRP keeps chopping between $1.40 and $1.50, which I suspect will happen, making everyone argue online while the candle does absolutely nothing. XRP has spent so much time consolidating, it's starting to think it signed a lease at $1.45. What happens first? $1.60 breakout or $1.40 retest? Drop it in the chat. So keeping it moving. Why the market is pumping, the bigger crypto setup. Now let's zoom out. XRP does not move in a vacuum. It moves like Bitcoin, liquidity, ETF, demand, regulatory headlines, and overall risk. Let me see, where is this? So Bitcoin is still holding above 81,000, which is good. As long as Bitcoin stays and everything else doesn't come crashing down, the market is solid. The ETF story helps because it gives XRP a reason to stand out. The technical charts help because XRP is pressing against a decision zone. The $100 narrative helps with attention, but attention alone is not enough. We need buyers. Key market ingredients XRP needs. For XRP to make a strong weekend move, I want to see four things. Bitcoin stays stable and moves higher. XRP holds $1.40, $1.41 support. XRP breaks $1.48, $1.51 with volume. ETF institutional headlines continue to support the narrative. If those four line up, XRP can make a strong move. If Bitcoin dumps, forget it. Bitcoin is still the landlord of the crypto apartment complex. XRP can move best, can have the best chart in the world, but if Bitcoin trips over its shoelaces, the whole altcoin market starts filing insurance claims. So fact versus hype. This is where creators with long-term, everyone can yell XRP to $100 tomorrow. But if you want people to come back, you need to be the person that gives the facts and entertainment. So facts, Canary's ETF structure is designed to provide exposure to XRP held by trust. Reported XRP Canary held 149 million XRP worth 261 million as of March 31st. XRP ETF inflows recently had the biggest day since January, led by Franklin Templeton, BitY, and Grayscale. XRP needs a meaningful breakout above $1.48 to $1.51 area to confirm stronger upsides. $100 XRP is possible only as a long-term moonshot decision, not a weekend target. This channel does not sell fairy tales. We sell facts with seasoning. So here's the final verdict. XRP has a real institutional story building. Canary reported 149.9 million. XRP position is a serious headline. XRPs are bringing Wall Street style access to the asset. The chart is sitting near a major breakout zone. And yes, the $100 XRP hype is back. But the real short-term battle is not the $100. It's the $1.48 to $1.50. If XRP breaks that level, the volume then $1.60 to $1.71, $1.90, $2 become the next level to watch. If XRP fails, we retest $1.40 and possible lower. What up, Phantom? What up, Mommy Trade, New Mom 2023? I told you guys, just continue to hold. Everything will work out. This is gonna watch a couple videos. Let me see. We'll start with the crypto sensei and work our way back.
That's for sure. Wow. Well, guys, today is a big, big, big day for this entire.
$300 per token. We are also seeing over 332,000 XRP wallets holding more than 10,000 XRP. We also have a ton of data showing even more people coming in and supporting the network. I have a ton of other XRP related news here towards the back of the video. It's a lot of stuff. So let's go through it together to better understand what is going on here. I'm just going to read the tweet. I don't need to read the gist. How XRP can reach 300. I think we're all like, hey, how does this work? Shortly after the Clarity Act is enacted, banks will start using XRP. Those who say XRP will rise slowly or only reach $5 to $10 view banks like grocery stores joining the system one by one. However, Ripple has already partnered with giant infrastructure providers like Volante, ACI Worldwide, and Finastra. The reality is that these infrastructure providers serve thousands of banks with a single update. In other words, Ripple does not need to sign individual contracts with 13,000 banks. The moment they plug into a central cloud, all banks connected to the system become capable of using XRP liquidity. Therefore, it will take years. Claims represent a failure to understand the speed of the software of the world. XRP is a payment transfer system. If XRP remains at $10 to $20, it will be like trying to transfer the water in the ocean with a small straw. The straw needs to grow. The large pipes are required. Therefore, as prices increase, the pipes expand and the transfer becomes much faster. As XRP transfers and processes more value on the network, you're going to need a higher price of XRP to facilitate all of this value. We've been talking about that for years. And even David Schwartz said it can't be dirt cheap. This is actually crypto in a minute, actually XRP in a minute. This was recorded at X Las Vegas. It is a brand new clip. I've not seen it yet. I was waiting for you.
Hi, I'm Brad Garlinghouse. I'm here for my second crypto in a minute here at X Las Vegas. So we're doing something special to make it XRP in a minute. I'm Brad Garlinghouse, and I'm back for X in a minute. What makes XRP unique? I'm going to go way back in time and talk about the earliest inventors at XRP Ledger who had been contributors to the core of Bitcoin. And they saw in that an opportunity to build something specialized and specific and unique to really solve a payments problem. And so what makes XRP so unique is its speed, settling transactions in 3 to 5 seconds. Its cost, extremely low cost, fractions of a penny per transaction, and its scalability, now having completed over 4 billion transactions. You add in that with a special dash of an incredible community around what I like to call the XRP family. Sometimes we're going to be the XRP army, depending on what's going on. But you put those things together and you include the longevity of this blockchain, you have something special and unique that is poised for great success in the years ahead.
You can't recreate the XRP army. There is just one army, and man, XRP is the best. All right, the XRP ledger has hit an all-time high of 332,230 wallets holding 10,000 XRP. Dang, people are stacking. This record confirms that larger players are actively opening wallets and accumulating even amid price uncertainty. Right now, if you wanted 10,000 XRP, what are you talking about? $14,000, give or take, right? XRP is sitting at $1.42, so it'd be $14,200. I mean, if you believe this whole world is moving on to blockchain and XRP is at the top of the list, you have Ethereum, BNB, XRP, Solana here. I would imagine that one or two of these networks is going to be just insane as far as price goes. We don't know how long it's going to take or what that adoption curve will look like and how long regulatory capture will take. But I believe in XRP, and I'm here to stay, man, until all this unfolds. ETFs just massed a new all-time high of 1.16 billion net assets with a massive 25.8 million single-day inflow. the biggest since January. Institutional money is flooding in. Cumulative inflows are now at 135 billion since launch. Let's go spot XRP ETF tracker. I just want to see where we are. We always kind of bring this up to see 861. We were 848 just last week. So we actually gained 13 million XRP in these ETFs. We're trying to get to 1% of the XRP supply in the ETFs. That would be a big milestone moment. But I do, we are reaching levels that we hadn't seen even when the kind of bull market was on there for XRP price. So we're going to keep growing. We're going to keep doing this. And hopefully in the next year or two, we're going to see 2%, 3%, 4% in these ETFs. And then that'll just be taken out of circulating supply in these kind of cold storage, put away forever type wallets. And this should help the price of XRP. Will you have Flare and other DeFi primitives growing in the XRP ecosystem? That'll lock up more XRP. That'll also be good for the price. Chad Steingraber says the Franklin Index Fund will feature XRP as its third largest holding with a total of 5.81% of the total. These are all adjustable as the funds can be rebalanced in the future. Index funds are perfect because they still require the asset even if the clients don't realize it. So as different products are put forward to the market, there'll be probably heavy Bitcoin, heavy Ethereum, and then you'll have that XRP Solana mix too. And I think that's kind of what you're seeing here at the 5.81%. Big XRP claims #1 position in Upbit spot market volume. I love it when you see South Korean exchanges here, when you see XRP in front of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Look at that volume, 10%. Where is Solana? What is Sahara AI and why is it top 5? What? You would think something like Solana, Chainlink, XLM would be top 5, but something Sahara AI. What do people in South Korea know that we don't here? Might have to take a look at that. CME Futures live with 1 billion in open interest. Guggenheim tokenizing on the XRP ledger. Societe Generale picking XRP for a euro stablecoin. US spot ETFs pulling in 1 billion in inflows. All of this happened in less than a year, and most people are still sleeping on these institutions, and then they're not waiting for you to get ready. I did want to congratulate Decent for this big launch today, pairing up with Flare Networks, Squid Router, Doppler, and Bangsa Official. So they're kicking off this new partnership, and I will be bringing you more information as we get it here. Hell yeah. Big shout out to my man Tani from Decent. I got to meet him in Japan, and they're doing some big things over at Decent. So if you need a wallet, there's always a link in the description. They have some pretty big savings right now if you're interested in one wallet, but the biggest savings is if you want 2 wallets. So if you and a loved one need a new wallet, Decent is probably where you want to go ahead and check that out. Now, the digital asset investor did have some words to say here. I did want to bring this up. I did make a video, and by the time you're watching this, you would have seen this video already. Now, the Clarity Act was re-released here on Tuesday. That was yesterday. You're going to get this video on like Thursday morning, and I'll have to make a ton of content about the Clarity Act on Thursday. But in the Clarity Act, it said on page 111, if there was a crypto that had an ETP that was alive January 1st, 2026, they are considered a digital commodity. So they don't have to go through the mature blockchain test. Now, Elizabeth Warren, she did file an amendment with 40 other amendments totaling. That was Amendment 77. Do I have it here? Yes. Amendment 77 here. This amendment would strike the grandfather clause, which means that XRP wouldn't be considered a digital commodity just by passing this bill if this amendment gets passed. And that would cause Ripple and the XRP ledger and the XRP community to have to go through all of this over again. This would really give XRP and a few other assets really clear rules in the United States for financial institutions. I know we can go back and we can say XRP already has the clarity from the judge. I get it. But if you want something signed, sealed, and delivered as a bill in the United States signed by the president, this is where it would be. And so if the amendment does get accepted and XRP is not considered a digital commodity, we have to go through this decentralized blockchain test to make sure that we are decentralized here. That could take some time. Also, Ripple would have to get rid of a lot of XRP. Right now, they probably have close to 40 billion XRP, excuse me, with Chris Larson and the other founders that are still working at Ripple, as well as all the Ripple employees. This would be a big hit, right? Because you have ODL, you probably have 4 to 5 billion XRP in ODL, and there's probably 32 to 33 billion XRP in escrow. So you combine all of that together, you're close to 40 billion. You'd have to offload 20 billion XRP. And I just think that could lead to some big issues down the road. And I would rather have Ripple, the steward of that XRP, than rather Ripple selling it to some other institution that we really kind of don't know what their plans are going to be for it. So I was a little frustrated to see this with Warren. I mean, she's not even going to vote for the bill. She's anti-crypto. Why are you going to throw all these amendments to try to kill the bill at the last second? It's very, very frustrating. I'm so tired of some of these anti-crypto politicians. I'm over it. Interesting, Ripple entered a strategic collaboration with a consortium of Japanese banks and organizations, including Toyota, Securitized Japan, Mizuho Bank, and more to run the JFIIP program, which leveraged the XRP ledger to address challenges in Japanese infrastructure. So there's a lot of things happening in Japan. We are waiting for kind of more announcements on all of this. But Securitize just launched another fund with BlackRock too. So man, I really want to see BlackRock launching a spot XRP ETF. I think we're still a little bit of a ways away from that. We were doing the live stream yesterday on Tuesday, and somebody asked about when was BlackRock going to launch a spot XRP product. And so what I did was I pulled up Bitcoin, the IBIT, just BlackRock's IBIT, the 24-hour volume for BlackRock's IBIT. Guess how much the 24-hour volume is? 1.25 billion. And that's how much we have in the total amount of XRP. It's XRP is just not large enough for BlackRock to launch a spot XRP product just yet. And that's why I think they're holding back. They need more customer demand. They need more liquidity here for them to jump in. And you guys let me know what you think down below. I'm sure everybody has an opinion, and I'm looking forward to reading some of those. Be nice though, all right? Smoke Dog says the new DTCC report confirms Ripple as a firm the U.S. administration is pushing into tokenized finance. The current U.S. administration has expressed a strong desire to increase competition in capital markets by allowing crypto-native firms such as Coinbase, Circle, and Ripple to engage in similar activities to regulated financial institutions with the possible threat of disintermediation current market leaders. So, you always see Ripple at the White House. You're wondering if there are bigger and better plans for Ripple that we just don't know about. Maybe a new financial system that XRP plays a part in, or Ripple plays a part in. That would be pretty cool. Remember that Ripple Prime CEO just said another day that RLUSD will be used as collateral within the system. You start to wonder what DTCC will be using RLUSD for and XRP for, and how much it will be used. We know that BNY is the main settlement for the cash settlement for DTCC. So, is there something larger to be announced? We will see. And then Chartnerd says there will be signs. First, Ripple Prime Mike Higgins highlighted tokenized collateral as the next step. And now the DTCC collateral app chain may include the use of more volatile assets like cryptocurrencies as collateral if regulations support it. Interesting timing. So people are speculating here that XRP might be used as collateral inside the DTCC system. That, of course, is speculation. Now, you also have this probably nothing XRP, Ripple, DTCC, Euroclear. Ripple Prime and Euroclear are both participants in the DTCC tokenization service launch this year. The DTCC collaborates with Eurosystem on interoperability frameworks, including the DTCC's app chain launching in conjunction with the tokenization service Q4 2026. Ripple's Cassie Croddock also participated in a 2026 panel on reshuffling financial infrastructure with the DTCC, Euroclear, and Swift. We did play clips from this. It was actually very interesting. I mean, before Ripple was kind of on the outside. Now they're being invited into panels with the clearing infrastructure for like the most important financial systems in the world. You start to wonder what kind of conversations are these people having off stage, and what collaborations have they been working on? You also had this posted by Mr. Man. Big shout out. I'm not going to read you all of the stuff. That'll take me half an hour. I'm just going to go ahead and play you the clip, which I think is well worth you seeing.
Really what's happening is that we have been, and we still are, and for the next 10 years we will be, rewiring the global economy to lay the networks that we laid before, which were highways, utilities, railways, and now we're laying cloud, artificial intelligence factories, and data centers. And that's on the fundamental basis, that's what's happening. So there will be $10 trillion from power, AI, factories, data centers, and fiber build out laid to basically rewire the world for the new economy that's coming. And it's been slowly coming. Like it literally, you end up, things happen and you think they're too much, but we're just rewiring the world. And that's probably the most fundamental thing that's going on in the world. It's going to be the most important thing for the next 2 years. So I think the important thing is, don't think that this is it too much hype? Yes, there's always too much hype in some different thing, but we're just rewiring the world, and there's going to be enormous investment, and it's not 1 year, 2 year, it's 10, and maybe it's 15, and maybe it's 20. But it's an enormous amount of capital going into these things.
Did he say 2 years? Then he said 10? I'm so confused. We are rewiring the global financial system. And this is what I say when people say, oh, this cryptocurrency can't reach this price. We are entering a new financial system where all this value is supposed to be on chain. You're telling me that you have seen the future and you know how much XRP or Ethereum or Solana is going to be worth in 5 or 10 years? Really? I think a lot of people are just underestimating the impact that all of this value coming on chain is going to have, and the price of these assets that are going to need to be to facilitate all of this value, trade, and transfer. I'll leave it there, guys. Please support the content with a like, comment below. Let me know what you think about any of this. I always appreciate your support, and I do read the comments. I really appreciate the nice ones, but hey, I appreciate you guys for keeping me honest. I look forward to seeing what you guys come up with on this video. All right. Aloha.
So keeping it moving, we have why is this not? So keeping it moving forward to crypto officially advances. This is multimedia. And this is, we'll start with multimedia real quick.
Out there, my name's Jake. This is Bolt Media, and finally it is here today. Undoubtedly is a massive day for all of us in the cryptocurrency space and XRP. Now, what I want to do in this video, which will be jam-packed full of information, clips, what's going on with the latest in the Clarity Act markup, is paint this with a broad brush and understanding there are beginners, there are people coming to this space new every day, and there are also many out there that are advanced and just need updates. We're going to talk about all that, what it means for XRP, the price of XRP, and here at the end, we're going to put out a message as well. If you do like this type of content and appreciate what we're doing here, type the X in the comment section, smash that like button, and let's get straight into it. First, real quickly, let's talk about how quickly this can be implemented. XRP can be implemented into banking systems after the Clarity Act is passed. And understanding also, even outside of the Clarity Act, I want to show you something on that in just a moment. There is a lot happening with Ripple and XRP and the implementation of this tech. It's a big world out there. It's not just us here in the United United States that run the cryptocurrency space. Now, of course, this is going to help unlock, getting this Clarity Act through is going to help unlock trillions in capital to flow into this market, which is sitting at just under 2.7 trillion right now currently. But how quickly can banks use XRP once the Clarity Act is implemented? I saw Smoke Dog putting this out here today. I want to show you this clip. It's a little over a minute as a reminder right here.
Which I think should be quite comfortable for you. How long is the implementation process to get started with Ripple?
Yeah, so typically we look at about a 2 to 3 month basis from start to finish. A lot of that is part of the onboarding process. So we go through a credit review process. We then have an onboarding process. That's relatively straightforward. In terms of the technical integration side, it can take between, I'd say, probably 1 to 2 months. That includes things like testing, integrating into the system, and just general process. I think the fastest one I've ever done was probably a 3-week implementation, which was very fast. And probably the slower ones hit that sort of 3-month mark. But it's as fast as you can put resources into making it happen. And we're here to support that.
So no, we're not talking about years here. We're talking about weeks and months. Now, Mr. Man, who we're going to have him on the show later this month, he here today put out instant payments are going to be live in Africa next month, June 2026. So it's all happening right now. I see Ripple and Stellar providing instant payment options. Follow the money, he writes. Now, let's real quickly talk about here today, markup day. And we started up. We're finally here on the markup. Well, 100+ amendments have been filed. Senator Warren alone submitted 40+. Someone that needs to be voted out, as I've stated many times, is painful to listen to. But we have had strong backing with Coinbase, the likes of Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple, and many others. Now, Democrats have highlighted ethics, national security, and bank concerns, while Republicans stress innovation, consumer mainstream protections, and the markup is viewed as a pivotal step after all of these prolonged delays. Now, what does all this mean going forward? You get committee passage, then sent to the full Senate floor, possible House reconciliation if changes are made, and then finally to the president's desk, to Donald Trump's desk, and hopefully get this. They're trying to target before July 4th to get this signed into law. Now, success will bring the U.S. regulatory certainty, institutional capital inflows, and global leadership. Delays and failure prolong uncertainty, reducing 2026 passage odds significantly, and floor timing will compete with other Senate priorities. While recording this, guys, we got massive breaking news just in from Watcher Guru. Senate Banking Committee has officially advanced the crypto clarity bill in bipartisan support. This is huge, as we were thinking this could go well late into the night, even run into tomorrow. And it is official that the Senate Banking Committee has advanced the Crypto Clarity Act bill. Let's go. Now, I wanted to show you this clip here. Is a little over a minute. Senator Cynthia Lummis put out, we've worked with Democrats for 9+ months to get this bill ready. It creates a regulatory framework that doesn't exist yet in the digital asset world, yet right now it's the Wild West. This bill brings the industry into the fold here in the U.S. to serve the American consumer. I'm going to play you this clip. It's a little over a minute right here.
Major bill designed to create a clear regulatory framework for digital assets could soon be heading to the Senate floor for a full vote in less than 2 hours. The Senate Banking Committee's markup process on the Clarity Act set to begin. Republican Senator Cynthia Lummis is here, and she's the author and champion of that bill. She sits on the Senate Banking Committee as chair of the Digital Assets Subcommittee. Good morning to you. Sounds like we're here. It's going to happen.
That's a fact. We've been working for over 9 months with Democrats trying to get this bill ready for today. It provides a regulatory framework that currently doesn't exist in the digital asset world. It's the Wild West out there. And that allows fraudsters to operate without a regulatory framework to respond to their illicit activity. It also allows legitimate players to set up shop overseas because they do have regulatory frameworks. This is a way to bring this industry into the fold into the United States, make it strong, robust, and serve the American consumer.
Now, undoubtedly, crypto has become very political and is, of course, one thing that helped get Donald Trump into office. And I did see here today that CLO, Chief Legal Officer of Ripple, Stuart Alderati, put out 67 million Americans hold crypto today. And every U.S. senator on the Senate Banking Committee represents them. And so thank you to everyone that's continued to call and put pressure out there on them to help get this through. Now, today's vote on the Clarity Act is a big opportunity. Brian Armstrong of Coinbase, CEO of Coinbase, put out to move America's financial system forward. Let's check it out a little under a minute right here.
Yeah, well, I go around and I speak with lots of different bank CEOs, and many of them are just leaning into this as an opportunity to grow their business. They're integrating stablecoins as fast as they can. They understand that their clients want access to crypto assets, and all these funds are now being tokenized, and it's just going to make everything more efficient in the financial system. So I truly believe that this is an opportunity for American companies, including the banks. We're very invested in their success. They're invested in our success, by the way. They've been working with us as partners in many different ways for the last 14 years. And so we're at a place now where all American companies can finally start to build this industry. My hope is that with this legislation getting through, we're all going to be able to work together a little bit more collaboratively.
Now check out this clip from Tim Scott sitting next to Elizabeth Warren talking about bipartisan views here.
That doesn't change the fact on how we got to where we are, however. It was brought by my staff. It was brought by your staff, number one. Number two, let me just say this very clearly, because I'm not going to go back and forth on this issue. Democrats have frankly worked hard on this bill. Our bill first came out in June of last year. Since June of last year, we've added 33,000 words, 219 pages in an effort to make this legislation as bipartisan as humanly possible. I can't imagine how much time Senator Brooks has spent on this legislation. Frankly, during very difficult and challenging times, her focus remained on getting things done. And Tillis worked with her on parts of the very legislation that we're talking about, where the negotiation allowed us to get to where we are. Gallego has spent a ton of time talking with members on this side, Bernie Moreno and others, trying to find a path forward. So the truth of the matter is, as frustrating as this process has been, without question, when I talk to members on your side of the aisle, including Warnock and Senator, we call her CCM, but Catherine Cortez Masto and Senator Warner, the one thing I can tell you, the entire process, we have disagreed vehemently, but respectfully and consistently, and working towards an end result that makes America better.
So obviously fantastic news. We just got in here today, guys. We're seeing the price of XRP pop at the time of this recording. And I want to salute every single one of you out there that has been patient on this ride. We're not yet at the finish line, but we just got one big step closer to that finish line. We're all in this together. We're all trying to make it to the end game here, which is a much higher price for XRP. Stay locked in, stay focused, know what you hold, and I will see you all in the next one.
BlackRock just made a crazy move in the crypto space yet again. And yes, I do believe that both Ripple and XRP are playing a big role here. We're going to go over this here in a moment, but first I want to go over a few things that are happening right now behind XRP that I think that a lot of you will find very interesting. So let's actually start off with the first major update from Evernorth, which is the most under-discussed story in XRP is the plumbing. So for 2 quarters in a row, there has been major moves made. So far, 2 quarters in, 5 protocol upgrades in parallel, several spot ETFs have gone live. CME futures crossed $1 billion in open interest. A Wall Street firm issued Moody's rated P1 2024 debt on XRP. Societe Generale's digital euro came onto the XRP ledger as well. None of it trended, but all of it compounds. And that's a thing that I have stated many times over. Like everyone's like, all of this positive news, but the price action sucks. Yes, it's because it all builds up. It's pressure. It's all compounding. And this is a very good insight on how you should be looking at it. Now, we do have the full update over here. So the most under-discussed XRP story of 2026 is the plumbing. And yeah, it's because we are starting to see major moves happening. For the last 6 months, the XRP ledger has shipped key capabilities that regulated capital needs to operate on a public blockchain. None of it is individually a major development on its own, but collectively it provides a comprehensive solution for regulated institutions to bring capital on chain. Those that did go live were the multi-purpose tokens XLS33 back in October of 2025. February 4th this year, permission domains XLS80. February 12th, token escrow XLS85. February 18th, permission DEX XLS81. April 14th, native ZK proof verifier, which is boundless and XRP ledger commons. What's actively in development right now? Native lending. XLS66 lending protocol. XLS65 single asset vaults. These are very important to look into because what this really is providing is a corporate treasurer can basically deposit idle stablecoins or USD, USDC into a vault and earn yield, the on-chain version of sweeping cash into a money market fund. A market maker can borrow against tokenized treasuries to fund inventory. An asset manager can lend out tokenized bonds for a fee. The standard specifies fixed term, fixed rate loans, and this is with first loss capital cover, which is closer to traditional credit underwriting than typical DeFi over collateralization. It's the missing primitive for treasury management, prime brokerage, and programmatic credit, which I do see a big use case potential here for the XRP ledger with Ripple Prime Services and even G Treasury. Then we also have smart escrows. This is another big one. And then we have the institutional access layer is moving in parallel. So these are all of the major updates that we've gotten since going back a whole year. May 19th, 2025, CME Group launches XRP futures. June 10th, 2025, Guggenheim issues tokenized commercial paper on the XRP ledger. November 13th through the 24th, US spot XRP ETF wave. February 18th of this year, Societe Generale's regulated digital euro goes live on the XRP ledger. Ongoing, Arctic brings tokenized funds and securities to the XRP ledger, which, by the way, this is actually a pretty cool insight because we did not know any big update was happening with this, but it seems as though the target here is 1 billion plus of traditional assets on the XRP ledger by mid 2026. And well, the middle of 2026 is about to hit. I wonder if that's going to happen. So when we think about all of this and why it matters, well, this is all building out a compliance framework that institutional players can tap in and pretty much bring billions, trillions of dollars with them onto the XRP ledger. And the plumbing is the most overlooked part of the XRP story because this is enabling players like Evernorth to really scale their mission statement on the XRP ledger, which is bringing institutional adoption and capital on chain in a big way. Very excited about this. This is awesome. And also we got another big update from Evernorth, which is the utility side. Utility is rare in digital assets on XRP. It's measurable. And last month it set a record. 12 months of XRP transactions data, 43 million to 71 million. An insight here, 65% gain. Yeah, that's actually very, very interesting. We could see the overall gains here from May of 2025 to now. And what's crazy about this is the market has been down only since going back to May of 2025. So transactions per month went from 43 million to 71.5 million, an upside potential of 65+%. Top transaction drivers last 12 months, Bitstamp, RLUSD, Just Token, and also Brazil Bank with Vert. We love that. And to build on top of this, we do have that the speculative volume on a blockchain comes in bursts. Real utility looks different, steady, programmatic, and tied to real businesses moving real money. So who's actually driving that volume? The top drivers over the past 12 months, well, we just went over them. Exchanges, stablecoin issuers, DeFi protocols, and Brazilian banks, all settling on the same ledger. This is incredible. Now, on top of this, we do have over here, there was an interview actually at Consensus 2026 Miami. This is from Jacqueline Melinek from the Talkin' Tokens podcast. And we have here Beyond the Hype Cycle, Beyond the Speculation Cycle. Ashish Burla spoke with Jacqueline for Talkin' Tokens at Consensus 2025, covering Evernorth, the macro setup, and what he'd tokenize if he could pick anything. Check this video clip out. It's about 2 minutes and 4 seconds long.
Today, we are doing interviews in sunny Miami for an event that Strata Media is hosting alongside GSR and Alpaca, where we're asking people in the industry, what do they think of the market right now? Is it overhyped, underhyped, properly hyped? How do they think about risk, volatility? So, okay, high level, what is your company working on right now that you think people should be excited about?
I'm Ashish Burla. I'm the CEO of Evernorth. Evernorth is a digital asset treasury, but an active digital asset treasury, and it's around XRP. And we put XRP to work and provide active treasury management, meaning generating yields using traditional means and the XRP Ledger DeFi ecosystem.
So do you think people being bearish right now is overhyped, underhyped, or properly hyped?
If you look at the metrics, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. We've been waiting for what can you do with this technology more than proof of concepts, more than hype. And I think what you're seeing is we're moving beyond that hype cycle, beyond that speculation cycle, and we're moving to financial institutions using this technology for moving money, for tokenization and trading money. Companies like BlackRock are leaning in, Franklin Templeton leading in, the biggest names out there in the financial space leaning in.
So what would you say is your market strategy today?
Once we're closed, we want to do something that's a little bit different than a lot of the other dApps out there. We believe that we're not only there to provide exposure to XRP, but we also want to help build that ecosystem on the XRP ledger itself. We're out there helping create new standards and creating new protocols directly on XRP so that we can run our yield business in the future on XRP as well. And that's a big differentiator in terms of where we're active developers. I'm a product guy. I spent almost a decade at Ripple being the product guy. I want to bring some of that flavor over to Evernorth.
So yeah, that's awesome to see. I mean, obviously the entire evolution of this space, just kind of watching it in real time. I love that he said basically what I'm thinking all the time. Like everyone's wondering like, oh, is this cycle, this, that, whatever? Like, should we be upset about price action? Like, we are finally witnessing everything that we have waited forever for, which is we're now starting to see players like BlackRock, JP Morgan, the biggest institutional players jumping in. So why would we be sitting here saying, oh, this market sucks? No, the market is changing. And it's going to change in a very positive way. It's just that we're still early in this major change that's happening. And I look at what's happening with players like BlackRock. Now, let's talk about that. We go back here to Securitize because Securitize is backed by BlackRock and Morgan Stanley. How do you unlock real-time liquidity for institutional assets with RLUSD? Our new partnership with Securitize will allow holders of BlackRock's BIDL and VanEck V-Bill to instantly exchange their shares for RLUSD. Back in September of 2025, this got announced. This was all based around integrating the XRP Ledger and RLUSD directly into Securitize's platform to expand access and utility of the XRP Ledger ecosystem. This is very important, especially when you listen to what Carlos Domingo from Securitize stated. Check this out.
Yeah, Carlos. So maybe you can break down this announcement today for us. You guys have rolled this out with VanEck. kind of what's the story behind this and why is this important for Securitize?
One of the issues with capital markets is that the rails for the dollars and the rails for the securities are disconnected. So one of the huge advantages of tokenization is that you bring within the same ledger technology tokenized securities and tokenized dollars. So for us being the largest issuer of tokenized securities, we need to partner with the largest issuers of tokenized dollars, because that's how we bring the two worlds together and provide liquidity for our assets, which is hugely important to make them, more useful for people on chain. Being able to then compose them better with DeFi that needs liquidation, use them as collateral for trading. In case the collateral needs to get liquidated, you need to exit into stable coins, etc. So, as you know, Ripple, one of the largest companies in the space, launched its own stable coin, I believe it was like 6 months ago or something like that, like pretty recently.
Yep.
But it's been pretty remarkable how big it has become so quickly. So obviously Ripple is a company very familiar to us. I don't know if people are aware of it, but they invested in our company in 2018, and we've always been talking to them. But more recently, I think Ripple has started doing some movements to get closer to our space. They, as you know, launched a custody product. Now they bought a prime broker, and now they launched a stable coin. So that led to the discussions of why don't we use our USD as one of the liquidity layers for RWAs, and then the announcement today that we're going to start that with the two tokenized treasury funds that we have, BUIDL from BlackRock and VBIL from VanEck. Well, they will have instant on-chain liquidity options into our USD.
And that connection there, right, with Ripple, with Securitize, like they have been working together for years and years and years and years. Like this is definitely a big one to focus on because, yeah, it's very important to understand that, when we look at those very significant connections back to these platforms like Securitize, the fact that Securitize is backed by BlackRock, VanEck, like these big TradFi giants, you start to really connect the dots. That's why the long-term connections are so important to understand today, which is also why you see me bring up some old documents and stuff and videos. They're very important to kind of reflect on because they're still very, very big today. And that's why when we look at what just dropped with Securitize, which is this, BlackRock has filed for a new tokenized fund structure with the SEC and once again selected Securitize infrastructure to power it. That means a lot. The filing outlines a model where blockchain-based ownership records integrate with regulated transfer agency and investor onboarding systems. Securitize Transfer Agent LLC will maintain the official record of ownership for on-chain shares across public blockchains used by fund investors, which we could imagine, yes, the XRP ledger will be tapped in here. This is another step towards regulated on-chain capital markets operating at institutional scale. The filings follows the success of BUIDL, BlackRock's first tokenized fund launched with Securitize in 2024. Since launch, BUIDL has grown to approximately $2.3 billion in assets and has accelerated institutional adoption of tokenized finance. And yeah, we're starting to really see the Tokenize the World initiative here, where you have these regulated financial giants jumping in. And I'm very excited about this because, again, Securitize is also really kind of pushing forward with the Genius Act instead of Clarity. This move is actually a Genius Compliant Act push because they're also going to support stablecoin backing with tokenized funds for faster on-chain movement and transparency. Do I need to knock at the door and tell you guys that when we think about stablecoin backing, we go back to the whole idea that they are tapping in to ROUSD and even the XRP ledger for, you guessed it, liquidity, unlocking real-time liquidity and also having that instant exchange. That's pretty much the bread and butter here whenever you see these integrations happen. And I also think about the fact that Securitize is working with the New York Stock Exchange. This is huge for both Ripple and XRP. That's why we look at these connections. That's why, yes, going back to what Ashish Burles said in this interview, we're witnessing the happening moment. It's happening. I know that it might not seem like it because price action is not reflecting it, but we're in the beginning stages of how big this really is going to be. And I also think about Ondo. Because Ondo is also another major player connected back to some of these big names. Remember, BlackRock is also connected back to Ondo. They're bringing tokenized real-world assets to that.
right, guys. Thanks for joining. You can check the video out at who is this? Encash and Official Cash, the daily crypto news update. But thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I gotta cut it off. But if you got value from this stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this with one XRP holder who needs facts, not just hopium. XRP Army, stay strong, stay funny, and remember, green candles are fun, but risk management keeps you in the game. So again, thanks for joining. It's your main man, BTM, signing out. Peace and hair grease. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys. Stay dangerous. Miners out.